All right, what up, everybody? Welcome to Castle Tech. Here we go. The kid is in the house drinking some black tea, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my iMac. It is time for an upgrade. You guys are probably saying, what? 2022 going on 2023, and you're using a 2015 iMac? Yes, I am, youngins. I am. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this machine. All right, let's move this tea over here and let's have a discussion. Roll my chair. Hold on. Make sure nobody's underneath me. Because these guys, there's one who he'll come and stay right next to me and he'll just curl up behind the chair. I don't know why he does that, but he does that. Then the other one, I can actually hear him when he's walking. I don't know if you guys seen Underworld, but this he's like built like a lichen. And when he walks, it's like kunk, kunk, kunk. And he's only a year old. And man, it's like you can hear this dude anywhere when he's coming towards you. So I know when he's coming. But the other one, he's like stealth mode. So I've always got to look before I move anywhere. All right. Now, with that being said, let's talk about it. Now, this is a 2015 iMac. What do I like about it? I like everything about it except the fusion drive. So I guess it's not everything I like. All right. And also the graphics card. I have to go a little bit higher in that. But like I said, the type of video editing that I do, it's never over 2 minutes. I mean, they're usually like a minute clip or whatever the case may be. When I get into anything over about 3 minutes, I should say, that's when I start to notice that, this machine is starting to go, and that's because I'm using 4K. All right. 1080, it's reasonably fast. 4K with, minimal graphics. Let me just say that. You could see that, Houston was starting to have a problem if I start using more effects, layers and mask and blah, 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 XYZ and stuff like that. So there we go. All right. But now we're getting into this realm where you have to start editing. You have to start throwing all your skills on the table. Boom. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's why this machine has to be upgraded. And also, the real main reason why is I wanted to upgrade the RAM to 64 gigs. Now, naysayers will say, upgraded 64 gigs is preposterous. You don't need 64 gigs of RAM. Shut up. All right. For what I do, I use an average between a 14 and 15 gigs of RAM. All right. On this machine. All right. And that's when I'm moderately using it. So I haven't even went into super let me get crazy mode. I have, but I've never really looked at the memory. So if I'm already moderately using roughly 14, 15 gigs when I'm in Final Cut Pro, just imagine like when I'm editing and doing all this other stuff and I'm doing all that stuff together, I mean, the usage is just going to go up. Now, prior to this, I never had a problem with it. And you guys will probably might say, well, why didn't you upgrade before? Why? Because I was booting to an external SSD. So I never had those problems. But now I upgraded this to Mac Monterey, so it will match my 13-inch and my 16-inch laptop. That's where the problems started coming in. Now, thanks to Apple and their shenanigans, I can no longer boot to these external devices and just make the machine fly like it's been doing all these years, okay, which is like 4 years. All right. Now, prior to this, the OS that I was using was High Sierra, and I never had a problem with it. But like I said, I just upgraded my 13-inch laptop, and I recently got a 16-inch laptop like last year. So therefore, I want everything on one platform, so I don't have to be running from one side of the crib to the other side, and all this other stuff. I can just remote into this, because that's basically what this machine is going to be, remote into. I want to just sit back when I'm in the zone, drinking some tea, because I don't drink coffee, and just edit. That's basically about it. Yeah. So there we go. So I think I'm looking at the 2019 model or the 2020 model. Now, the 2019 model, I think, holds 64 gigs of RAM. And the 2020 holds 128. I'm not quite too sure, but I need to double check. So I'm probably just going to try and go with the 2020 and make it happen. That's basically about it. Because I think if I can find it, I'll be able to, make good use of it. And also, I'm going to attempt to buy it used. Now, there was a dude that was selling this bad boy in New Hampshire. Wasn't far away at all. I mean, literally, it was like half-hour drive from where I was, and I picked this up, and this was $300. So this is a 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro, and not only does it have 4 Type-C ports, 2 on this side, and it has 2 on this side. Also, the battery cycle was like, when I got it, it was like, I think the battery cycle was like, I don't know, 25 cycles or something like that. So it was crazy low. The only issue is the H key sticks a little, and that was fine. They showed me that. But for $300, this, in my Flossy Carter voice, was a major go. So I got this, and now when I'm riding, all right, guys, settle down. Hey. These guys, it's like when they both start growling, I'm telling you, they're like lions. All right. So anyway, this was a major go. This is a 2017 model, and it has 16 gigs of RAM, and it has a 1 terabyte SSD, and this baby moves. So when I'm riding my bike and I'm going somewhere and I just feel like sitting down in the woods somewhere, whatever the case may be, I'll either use my iPad or I will bring this. It's very rare that I bring this, but I do have my iPad, and I'm just, I'm chilling sometimes, and that's basically about it. So this is basically for portability. If I'm going somewhere, doing a client job or something, I need to dump some footage just to be on the safe side. This is what I would bring with me. The 2019 is when the 16-inch 2019 model. I got that at an excellent deal too. That is when I'm like in the zone and I'm just trying to push out some work, and it's just, I need that screen. Because the screen resolution on that is crazy. Screen resolution on this is pretty good too. And the screen resolution on this is pretty good too. But I think the 16-inch 2019 is just on a different level of visualization. For me, that is. And I wear some thick glasses. Yeah, knows how thick these lenses are. All right. So anyway, yeah. So this is a good buy. So if anyone's out there and they're looking and they think you do need the latest and greatest, a lot of times, don't fall for the hype. Like I said, this thing is a workhorse. It works perfectly fine. Ventilation is spectacular, and I have no complaints with this. Not to mention, like I said, it was only $300. Dude was in New Hampshire. Wasn't a long drive. Like I said, right there. So, yeah, perfect. And you see these on, Marketplace and all these other places, and they're going for like $700. You see these, Best Buy or whatever the case may be, and they're going refurbished, like, $900, $800. So the price was right, as Bob Barker would say. Come on down. And that's exactly what I did. All right. So, yeah, and that's about it. So, yeah, and for editing, in case you guys are wondering what this is the Loop Deck. Is it worth the price tag? Let's talk about that for a hot second. When I first got it, I didn't use it too much, to be honest, and I was kind of regretting this purchase because the thing is, editing in Final Cut Pro, if you're not familiar with the shortcut keys and you're doing everything manually, I mean, it takes a long time to put together a video. So I wanted something where I could just punch some buttons, I can scrub through the footage, do all this stuff, and blah, 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 blah. So I ended up getting that. I was hearing about the MX mouse. I got that. And this mouse made the whole big difference in the world. This mouse was like crazy. All right. Worked perfectly fine. So, yeah. So no complaints. I did get an educational discount on this. And I think I wanted to say I ended up paying like $435 for it. Rather than, it starts off at $549. That's exactly what it is plus tax. So I've got to relook and see, but I want to say I got it reasonably cheaper. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically about it. But I'll come back with a video, show you guys when everything's set up. Because right now I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to organize everything, set things up. And I find myself like every day, just trying to organize this place and get everything just right. set up the office the way I wanted, set up this the place the way I wanted, and that place the way I wanted. It's just, it's it's very time consuming. Let's just put it that way. This is where you wish you had like an extra set of hands, but I got to do what I got to do. So it is what it is. But got to get organized. Big shout out to my boy Desmond, because he used to say, and he was a Jamaican dude too, but he had a different type of accent. And he used to say, if you want to be successful in life, you have to be organized. All right, so that might not have been a Jamaican accent, but that's how he sounded, or somewhat close to it. So that's basically what it is. And for some unknown reason, that just seems to be the case. And it seems like every time I try and go forward, like something happens, and that voice, his saying, just always constantly just comes back to me. If you want to be successful, you have to be organized. All right, so here I am on the road to organization. Stay tuned. And I know I keep saying I'm going to push out this time-lapse clip. Every time I sit down to edit, like, listen, it gets so dark. Like, even when it's like 4 o'clock, you think it's just like crazy late. I just got to get into the shift of things. So hold tight, peeps. The kid is coming with the content.